everyone. Welcome to High Noon Sundays podcast. Maybe it's not Sunday, but we look at Sunday as a state of mind. So kick back, relax, indulge in your favorite cannabis treat, and join us for High Noon Sundays podcast. Hello, fellow humans. There's not much better to do than catch up with old friends on a podcast during this time of social distancing. My name is Siobhan Danger, and I will be your host on this beautiful High Noon Sundays podcast by Grow Sisters Media. This podcast is very dear to my heart as I get to catch up with one of my favorite humans on earth, Mr. Thomas Cappel, also known as Sidecar Tommy. Sidecar Tommy is 1/3 of the wildly popular band Beats Antique. Schooled in music his entire life, growing up with music teachers as parents, it is no wonder this multifaceted musician has made waves worldwide in the music community. It is my great pleasure to bring this High Noon Sundays podcast to you because every time I connect with Sidecar Tommy, I walk away feeling enlightened with a heart full of compassion.
This airs on Sunday, right?
Yes.
But in we're on
Thursday.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, we're on Wednesday. So the difference between what's going to happen today and tomorrow is like what would normally happen in like 3 weeks. Are we acting like today's Sunday and we don't actually know whether we're going to be around on Sunday? Say High Noon Sunday and we can just say, but it's Wednesday because shit's going crazy.
If the world does end by Sunday, is it going to matter?
Yeah,
What's
dude.
going to matter?
The aliens, the people who are next.
Hey everyone, welcome to High Noon Sunday. Now we know it's not Sunday, however... Hey everyone, welcome to High Noon Sundays. My name is Siobhan Danger Darwish. I am the curator of Grow Sisters, and today I am so excited because I am sitting on High Noon Sundays with one of my good friends, Sidecar Tommy of the band Beats Antique. What's up, Tommy?
What's up? How's it going?
It's going really good. I am...
Happy apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying a little bit of my own personal time and space with this. How about you? How are you hanging? It looks like you're in the studio.
Yeah, luckily I live 4 blocks away from my studio, so I get to sort of do what I normally do. I think this whole self-isolation thing it's like, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
So I come here and I work on music every day anyway. If I'm not on the road or something, doing something else out of here. But so I'm just doing the normal. It's just everything has changed. So there's different things happening out in the outside world that usually aren't happening. So.
It's true. So we are all dealing with kind of a lockdown. We've been asked not to leave our homes. Everybody knows the deal. I'm not going to go into it. But we wanted to get together today and catch up, say hey to you. I was hoping that we could talk a little bit about your story with cannabis and, your journey with that. So I'm really happy to have you on for High Noon Sundays, even though it's Wednesday. No big deal. So, Thomas Cappel, tell us how you became Sidecar Tommy of the band Beats Antique.
Wow, where to begin? I guess I could tell the extra long story because we have nothing but time.
True.
It all began one day a long time ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was probably like 14 years ago. Wow. Yeah. I mean, friends. Me and Zoe were playing in the Our Dogs Road show, which is one of my old projects, and also Extraction Marching Band. We were both in that as well, and so we were kind of doing stuff that put us together in places of music and performance. And like, she got an opportunity to produce a record that, you know, would be music that she would dance to. And so she hit me up, and me and David partnered up with her to create that music, and that music became Beats Antique. So yeah, that's like the short quick version.
And your band has been around 15 years. That's impressive.
14.
That's impressive.
14.
That's impressive.
But who's counting?
Beats Antique is one of the most iconic, smashed together. It's so hard to explain what genre you fall under, because you fall under so many.
Yeah, I think like we're just I like to personally, and I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I like to just think of it as, you know, being a drummer my whole life. I like to think of it as being sort of a rhythmic relation. It's like the genre is rhythms, and those rhythms I've found throughout studying music, they're present all over the world. And at any given time, for any kind of new kind of beat that's going on in like modern culture, there's something that reminds me of like, oh, it's also this beat from this really weird little subset of culture somewhere else, you know, from another time. And so a lot of those times, what I'll find is that those beats actually are used for the similar reasons that the beats would be used over here, but in a modern way. So it's just like an experimental idea that I kind of was presented with this project, because, you know, how do you fit belly dance rhythms and Middle Eastern rhythms into hip hop in a way, or into electronic music, or into, you know, hints of dubstep or hints of any modern genres? You know, how do you fit that into also include belly dancing and that performance art element that was needed? So it was a complex, you know, thing to work out.
You three have definitely defined a whole new category for your own. I mean, there's nothing like Beats Antique. There's nothing as long-standing and continuing to evolve, to continue to reach the interest of the masses. I mean, you really have evolved a huge following. Your Beats freaks are awesome. You know, the whole culture that comes, not just a culture, but the fashion that you had established, big in Burning Man. You know, there was a really beautiful, interesting, I don't even want to go into naming this because it's so unique and different, but the fashion that followed your band was impressive. You know, to see music being so influential and being able to touch so many people because it was so relatable to them, yet so new and different. And then also to have this huge fashion. And so you've done really awesome with Beats Antique. I really have to say, you know, in my time of our friendship, getting to experience that time with you, you three are incredible. The ladies that dance with you are just, I mean, it's going to see a Beats Antique show is not like anything else in the world. It's like going to the carnival mixed with the masquerade ball, mixed with a belly dancing plethora of, you know, craziness. And then you've got your whole side where you're also introducing these incredible mixture of organic instruments with electronic music. And it's just really impressive. The other really impressive point that I would like to point out is that you yourself also have a Sidecar music. You produce your own music, and which is also some of my favorite stuff, not just because we're homies, but because it's incredible. And, you know, over the years, I've watched you evolve as well in your own personal stuff. And I really, as we became friends, I really had to laugh, you know, hearing the music. It's like your earlier stuff, like, cool. It's like, okay, you got a long drive. You better have some Sidecar Tommy in the car. And then your newer stuff, I'm in my living room and I'm like, what? that is so dope, you know, and so I'm blasting it. And so you're, and I hate to call it electronic music, but for the lack of a better word, your electronic music in yourself has really, really expanded. And I will forever be a Beats Antique fan. But to be honest, I'm looking more forward to your new records coming out.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you know, I've just been I've been doing a lot of self-exploration, you know, for over the last little while, musically, also spiritually, and just kind of inside myself, you know, what I want to project out to the world. And I sort of took a break from releasing Sidecar Tommy music just because I found that most of my creative endeavors were focused on Beats Antique, and a lot of, you know, I would continue to make music, but, you know, as far as releasing it out to the world, most of that stuff came in the form of me creating a sketch and then presenting it to David and Zoe and us working through it together and making it a Beats Antique song. And so as of late, I've just been really wanting to check in with my own artist inside of me and see where I want to be for me, without thinking about anybody else, without like wondering, you know, whether I should do this or whether I should do that. It's like I want it to be like, oh, I don't have to get approval from anyone except me. The funny part about that is, as you know, in our friendship, I'm probably the biggest critic on myself. So with all my personalities that I have, basically it takes a while for me to agree with myself that something's ready to release. So I'm getting through that. I've been like coasting
That's
along
real.
this nice this
That's
thing.
real.
So I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm basically putting together a 6-song EP that's like some of the songs that I wrote quite a long time ago, in fact, and recently in this endeavor sort of updated to be now. And so that's been really fun to finally get through some of those songs and really feel this opportunity to let go of that music and release it out to the world. And some of those songs have been on like,
well done.
Thank you. And some of those things have been on Beats Antique, like DJ mixes and stuff like that. Like, so these songs have been out there. We played them. I played them at Burning Man. I played them tons of places. Like half of the EP is sort of this like that music, and then the other half is sort of where I've sort of seen the music world and how, you know, my influences that are outside of Beats Antique, how they kind of come into what I hear now and what I think I need to hear now, you know. So yeah, I'm
Very
stoked.
cool.
I think
Very cool.
I'm just excited because it's kind of fun to think about the fact that if I release something under Beats Antique, a bunch of people will hear it. And if I release something as Sidecar Tommy, it doesn't really matter if anybody hears it. Like I want people to hear it, of course, but it's just like there's not as much pressure. And so
Well, it's
that's
kind of beautiful.
that's kind of the cool thing. And that's what I was gonna say, is that like it feels like I used to be a little nervous about it, as we've spoken with before. It's like, oh no, like I'm supposed to do this as Beats Antique, and then it's like, what is this? The fact is what this is actually really awesome, because I don't have to worry about it too much. It's like,
and you get to keep it as your art.
Yeah,
it gets to be
exactly.
kept as your art,
which is
right?
what music is
So,
anyway.
yeah, and you
But
get to celebrate both those things, being a
yes,
professional.
but that like expression, is like can only be felt for a moment, because like I also made the conscious decision to monetize my music and create a business out of my art. And right now, as we know, that shit's cray. It's absolutely nuts right now.
It is.
It's crazy.
So going back a little bit, this is something that I feel a lot of your fans, even a lot of people listening to Beats Antique, really, haven't heard about you, because Beats Antique was so big, and you get off stage and it's Tommy, and I've been standing next to you at the end of shows, and somebody will come up and they're like, "Oh my God, Beats Antique was so good," and you're just standing right. It's you, right here. It's Beats Antique, literally right here.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I just, oh my gosh, she's like freaking out, and I'm like, I know, and you're just anyway. So my point being is that you are an incredible producer, and
Well, thank
you
you.
have all of this other really amazing talent. You were schooled in this specifically. You've helped Grow Sister Media. You did the main theme song for my Know Your Farmer series last year,
Yep.
Eclipse. Go check it out. You can download that off of the Grow Sisters website if you'd like. Actually, I know Bandcamp. Shout out to Bandcamp for you. You're welcome. All sorts of good things happening with you, Thomas. So can I go back a little bit more? I want to share with my viewers a little bit about your use with cannabis.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so cannabis and me. I started using cannabis quite some time ago, mostly to get away and to open up my heart because I needed it. Back when I was, I don't know, probably like 16 or 17. I think 17. Anyway, I don't remember, but it really helped me connect to music, and that was good enough for me. And so that was about as far as it went. It wasn't like, I didn't.
You were already connected to music, so that was
no, for sure. But it was interesting because I didn't. I only used it every once in a while. It was like a rare occurrence, but it would be like at rehearsal with my rock band, not like anything to do with any of the other musical projects that I was doing that were more like, not about that, so I was playing music with the church. I was playing music at school. I was a part of all the stuff there. So it was just something that was more as an escape and sort of mind expanding for me at the time. And that sort of brought me closer to my pursuit of more modern music and more expressive music in general. So
beautiful.
As my journey went on through that, once I got to California, people actually told me that because of my seizures, that it would be a positive thing for me to, use cannabis as a
wonderful
medicinal treatment. And so I did. And it went from me just being like happy to get stoned and stuff to like super just actually eventually being able to get off my meds for my seizures.
Yeah.
Just like a huge step.
Say it again, please. Say it clearly one more time. It's just so beautiful. I want to have our listeners hear that clearly. Please.
Well, when I was 14, I started taking medicine for epilepsy, for seizures, because I had some a fight occur and some sports injuries that created brain damage, and so I've had seizures since then. I'm 46 now, and for the last 5 years, I built up my knowledge and my understanding of everything to the point where I could switch from being on my meds to actually weaning myself off my seizure meds and synthetics to cannabis.
Yes.
So like, but look, like it's an amazing thing to celebrate, but it's also like it's an incredibly challenging and
that's exactly what I'm celebrating as well. Both of those things, all of those things. I'm celebrating the future people that are going to be affected by all of it. I am celebrating. Celebrate you, Thomas Cappel. You're still alive. You live another day, sir.
Of course.
What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that? For someone who has been, dealing with life circumstances such as you have been dealing with, and living with the direct reflection every single day. I mean, we think about it, right? But it's not something that's like we wake up, think about constantly. well, here we are.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just I've been able to sort of find positivity out of acknowledging the trauma that I've been through, and it's incredible to me that I've like, you know, been given the situation basically or I taken the situation and taken it on and gone for it, to be able to you know, be able to share, you know, some of the things that I've gone through my music, and have ears listening, and ultimately, you know, from stories that I've heard from people, have, you know, lives affected. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. I couldn't ask for more.
Truly.
You know?
Well done.
So, you know, it's heavy. You know, I mean, I've gone through a lot. I've found myself in situations like anyone who has similar problems, like, you know, in compromising situations and vulnerable situations, and
Absolutely. Human situations,
have to
life
trust public.
situations.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I used to live in New York City, and like, I remember one night I woke up on the street, uh, and there was like people all around me, and I had slipped on the snow. It was snowing and stuff, and I slipped on the snow and fell and had a seizure. And people came out and just like helped me and just stayed with me, and they didn't rob me. They didn't take my money. They were just like,
Looked over you.
hey, we got you. We got you, you know. And so for me, it was like, moments like that prove humanity is like super strong, and like, and so, you know, flash forward to like where we're at right now, like speaking of the present, all of the stuff that I've gone through has led me to be able to be very like forthright right now, and very strong right now. Even though there's like a ton of questions and people don't know what to do and stuff, it's like, I don't know. I've dealt with chaos for a long time, so this chaos kind of feels really unique and interesting.
Well, and so I I take it as it comes, right? We
Sure.
can only
Yeah.
do so much and have so much thought process. So it might as well be well spent bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's real, and that was kind of something that you realized, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of something that like I feel has been helping me through this time and through the understanding and staying calm and really, like you said, what matters, sitting with the people, your family, connecting with people. That's totally. I just did a great podcast with Jackie Stagg of Delic Radio, and it was just felt so good to connect with a girlfriend who is on the same. All right, everyone, let's
Right.
just listen to the scientists, listen to the facts that are happening. Go within, take
Yeah.
this time to use your bandwidth well, and that we get to have another day. High five or missed you, buddy. Those types of
Yeah.
things, so it's
Yeah. I
all
think it's
good.
really
Thank you.
profound. I think it's really profound. I think that it's
Oh, absolutely.
what's going on for people in general is right now you have the opportunity to actually like go mend stuff. You have the opportunity to see what it is going on, like, for yourself and your body and your mind and your heart and your spirit and your soul, and, you know, reach out to somebody that you miss because you guys haven't been able to communicate. You know, we all have, we have this moment, like, we really do, to actually.
Is that you and I?
Yeah, sure, like, it's like all sorts of things to be able to
Dude, I've
just
missed you.
like
Excuse
say
me.
hello and know that, like, that inherently what's going on for every single person is that if you right now reach out to that person and you haven't talked to them for a while, and being it that we're in a global pandemic that has a lot of really big effects on a lot of things, um, it's sort of like a really good opportunity to say, hey, you know what, despite of all the things, like I let this go, and whatever it is, like I'm here to support, like are you okay, do you need anything, like, and by the way, like I love you, take care, like
Yes,
just, you know
the
I
important thing.
actually opened up communication with someone that I needed to, and it was really easy, and it was a soft landing. So yeah, I suggest that too. I think that people really need to um take this moment and create a bunch of stuff too.
It's true. Cheers to that.
That that blueberry muffin. Oh my. Just saying. Just saying. Blueberry muffin.
That has a lot of favorites. A lot of people like that one.
It's tasty. It's tasty, and it does what you want it to.
It
But
reminds me
it's
of Blue Dream. So
right.
it's like it's good for me to work, but it's also good for me to create. I don't get too tired, but I'm still kind of like la la la.
I remember when I figured out that blueberry muffin paired really well with Ethiopian coffee.
Ooh, ooh, that's really
It's
good
like
one.
blueberry and blueberry.
Yeah. Wow. I will, man, I gotta get you some of that. I'm into it. Well, we're both smoking the blueberry muffin from the backyard grow for the Sister Grow Your Own Summer project this year. So, yeah,
Yeah, shout out
uh,
to that.
yeah, yeah. So that project about to kick off. Super excited and starting that April 1st. April, what's up? I'm
That's
having so much
cool.
fun with it. Nat and I just put out our seeds again. We did the trio pack for the Humboldt Seed
Tell him I
Company.
said, "What's up? What's up, Nat?"
I will. What up, Nat? Okay,
We're
so
like,
speaking on that, that's one of the things that I actually wanted to bring up with you. Thank you for
yeah,
reminding me. Are you doing any live streaming that we should?
yeah.
Did you like that?
um, yeah. So yes, we are doing live streaming. But David is on the East Coast with his family, hanging with his dad.
What's up,
Shout out
David?
to shout out to Vermont. Um,
I saw that. It looks beautiful. Oh, Dirtwire was just in Arcata.
yeah, they just played
Thanks for
a
coming
couple
up
weeks
to
ago.
Humboldt,
Yeah.
guys.
And then Zoe's just taking it, laying low at home, taking it easy. You
Good.
know,
Hi, Zoe. Hey,
she's
girl, too. What's
she's
up,
a
lady?
mom, so she's a mom. So like that's really awesome.
That
Um,
is awesome.
we're luckily I've developed some technology to be able to actually share audio straight from my computer on a live stream situation. So figured that world out, and
So you're able to teach from there.
yeah, I'm able to
Cool.
teach. I've been doing like
Very
online
cool.
coaching sessions through Gravitas
Awesome.
Create, and
Ooh, that's so dope.
yeah,
You guys, did you hear that? Hook that up. Plug
yeah.
that
So
in.
like,
You want to learn to do
yeah, go
that?
to Gravitas Create, and you can book a session for me with an hour to like
Cool.
talk
I'm
about
gonna do
anything
it.
music. It's not about like what platform you're using as much as it is music, and like the philosophy of music, and like understanding how to communicate what you're trying to get to, so that you can express yourself musically and artistically through your music, and through that get to the technology and understand what the technology is there to do for you, so you
Super
can
dope.
learn how to use certain things for certain sonic reasons, and not have to worry about trying to learn a whole plethora of all this crap that doesn't really matter, when really you just need a few sounds and inspiration and a little bit of know-how to sort of start making music, you know.
All of that information is going to be in the plug for this video.
Yeah,
Bam. Thank you, Sidecar Tommy.
you're welcome. I think the most beautiful thing that's happening at this moment right now for me is I'm acknowledging that maybe for the first time in my entire life, the entire like human race is actually in line thinking about the same thing, and that's pretty incredible. It's a pretty awakening kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are seeing that with breaks like this, a lot of things could be healed naturally. And I think that's exactly the kind of things we need to start thinking about for our people in our country and our friends and our families in other places, and just together globally, sort of seeing that you might not agree with things that people may do in the way they express themselves, but that, like, there's a baseline love out there in the world that's for humans and is for living beings and stuff. And I know it sounds super hippie, but it's right now it's time. I mean, like,
It is.
and it's
I
happening to
agree.
us. What's happening
I'm
to us without
smiling
even
so
trying.
big right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I know. It's incredible. It's
Yes.
an incredible feeling, but at the same time, like, with that awareness comes like action. And so yeah, we're just trying to all figure out ways to like support each other, and ways to sort of not just share somebody's thing, but actually go and buy something from them. Or and it's hard because not because like all the money is like sort of all the money in the world at one moment just like kind of stopped,
Yeah.
for a second, and it's like, whoa, we haven't ever seen that either. So it's pretty cool, but it's sort of like, it's like that feeling. It's like we're in this like frozen moment of
Weightlessness.
when all the money flew up off the table, and it's about to land, but it's still frozen right now. Everybody's like suspended and waiting to see where the chips fall. And I think it's a good time to like use that as a metaphor for directing chips in the place you want them to go. You know,
I love it.
because we're all
Yes.
we're all yeah we're all needing to we're all hitting reset, no matter whether you want to or
We're
not.
hitting
It's
reset
happening.
for
It's
sure. I
happening.
love this.
The earth is hitting reset. She's healing herself, and I'm gonna get smoke some more weed.
I agree. I feel that. I feel the weightlessness and then I feel the release.
Yeah.
And I know where I'm going to land and it's going to be a soft landing.
The coolest idea that I had for anybody who's feeling like sort of helpless is like, um, go and volunteer somewhere, go and help people, because you can literally like go to the store for someone and bring them food because they can't go anywhere. And there's like a
Yeah.
bunch of connections, ways of finding out in your community about what you can do to help people. because
Yes.
because here's the thing: if you're like stressed out about money, or you're stressed out about your job, you're stressed out about your house, go help people. Because if you participate in this, those people that you've helped, that puts it out there in like the world, and the energy in the world, that you're somebody who believes and supports. It's like, and it's also a good way to like to really see how other people might have it right now, and to see how things might be going on for them. And I just think, it's always been a suggestion of mine to people when they're a little lost. It's like, go help someone else, and
I
and
love
then
that.
and
See it
then you'll
see it
feel
from
it.
someone else's perspective.
Yeah, then you'll,
Right.
well, and just like see it from the perspective of like, there is always someone who's feeling it more than you, and you need and I know it could be, and it can make you feel a little lonely, but to be honest, like, it actually gives you that support, so you can actually just like, you can sort of feel like more of a team element is happening
Yeah.
than a singular kind of, I'm sitting in my apartment not knowing what the hell's going on.
Right.
you know you
Right.
know
Well, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier about just reaching out to your friends, reaching out to your
Exactly.
people, getting back, making sure that it's all gravy with everybody.
Yeah, right.
But keeping it cool too. I mean, at the same time, it's just kind of that weightlessness also relates to just kind of everyone looking around at each other trying to figure out what is going to happen. It's not just with money or self spirit or whatever, it's just about like what's going on society,
Of
you know.
course. Yes.
So everyone, my you know, answer to this is. It's just look to the science. We need to continue to watch and be aware, be diligent through science.
I think it's pretty interesting because I heard some folks like getting sort of upset about people doing stuff, but at the same time, like yesterday, the first day of our shelter in place order here in the Bay Area, the local farmers market went on, and they were
Hmm.
considered essential. So I
Yeah,
want you to
no, that's great
understand
because then it
something.
doesn't go
Like
bad.
I
Perfect.
want you to understand something. A farmers market that distributes organic produce is essential. That's a win. That's a very big win. Okay. Not only did those people get to work, they have
Yes.
they have the ability to our community has the ability to get good groceries
Yeah,
without.
it's fucking great. Like high five on Thunder. Let's get that shit out. I want to hear it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, Thunder EP, Sidecar Tommy. It's coming out soon on
Thank
Gravitas
you.
Records. Excited. It's gonna be 6 songs, 3 old, 3 new, all updated to now. Feeling good, feeling wonderful, feeling like I'm like, you know, finally expressing some of my inner stuff. It's awesome. Stoked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. That's exciting. All
Yeah.
of that info in the bottom here, tagged. Stay sane. Thank you so much for joining me on High Noon Sunday. That was fun. Happy High Noon Sunday,
Yeah.
everybody, even though it's Wednesday. We've lost our track of time since we were time travelers and the self-quarantine of life. Thank you, Sidecar Tommy. Lovely to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody stay safe out there. Help your neighbors, help yourselves. Feel
Yes.
good, feel chill.
Community.
See what you
Yeah.
can do to help people.
Love you, Sidecar. Bye.